Welcome to Retirement Solutions for All Ages. I'm here today with Caleb and Susie Atkins, and we're going to talk today about learning from other people's mistakes. So, one of the things that I like to do is address retirement solutions for all ages. We're not just talking about senior citizens. And Caleb and Susie work with younger people, middle-aged, older, the entire spectrum. And I hope that you can learn from Caleb and Susie. So let me start. Caleb and Susie, what is your elevator pitch and what do you do?
Hi. So what we do specifically is we work in personal finance, but we also take an educational approach to the personal area of personal finance. And so we help educate people on how money works and financial concepts. We help them put plans together. So we're getting them out of debt in like half the time. We're saving them on financial products and insurances. And the key part is that we're helping them get to retirement faster by helping them on those other financial areas. Now, it's our goal is to sit down with whether it's a young couple, young entrepreneurs just getting started, people moving through all kinds of um, life situations, is to help them educate them so they can take control of their finances ultimately.
Great. And as a team, tell me a little bit about you, Susie.
So we've been working together. We've been doing this for 5 years. So we kind of tag team a little bit. Sometimes Caleb does a little bit more of business side, a little more coaching when we with our team. Sometimes I work a little bit more on couples on the retirement planning side. It's like it's all about planning, putting that plan together. So yeah, that's what we're doing all.
It
What about
sounds
you?
like when it comes to finances, you have the numbers, which the majority of people say they're afraid of math, but you also have emotions. So it's nice that we have a couple working together because, different people have different styles. So that is absolutely wonderful. Well, one of the big questions that I think everyone has is what are the mistakes that people make and how can we learn from them so we don't make them ourselves?
I think that one of the biggest things is that um, people fail to plan. And when they don't have a plan, then they just kind of put things together and they hope they make it. And hope is never a good plan and it doesn't get you anywhere. And so the one of the biggest mistakes, whether it's young people, middle-aged people, or older folks moving into retirement, is we find that people don't plan for their finances. They go their whole working career without a financial roadmap. Then they're ending up at retirement not able to retire when or the way they want to. So the first thing I would tell anybody that no matter where you are in life is if you don't have a financial plan, you need to get one.
Yes, I've been reading a lot about uh, individuals who are looking at retirement in the next year or so and saying, hey, this is how much money I have. Can I retire? And it's like, shouldn't you have been asking that longer than when you want to retire? So tell me a little bit more about maybe an example of a particular client that you encountered.
Yeah. So like you said, let's ask that question earlier if we can. But if you haven't asked that question yet, ask it now because there are it's an individual thing, so we can look at what kind of risk you're taking right now. Some people take too much risk too close to retirement. Some people are not taking enough risk. If a retirement's 10, 15 years out, we should still be growing, um, being a little more growth oriented. So I'd say risk is a common one that I see, not having appropriate risk for where you are. And then your plan, like you said, rather than this is how much money I have, can I retire? Let's look at how much money you want to have. and make a plan to have that amount of money and make that our goal. If we're just shooting, there's a target in front of you and you're just looking at it and firing, like, let's be very specific about we're looking at that bullseye and being precise and then helping you get there as quickly and appropriately as possible.
Yeah, I mentioned emotions before, and people have different personalities. It's
Mhm.
kind of interesting. I grew up with a dad who was very entrepreneurial. We would go from, millionaire to flat broke to millionaire to flat broke. Um, and my husband's dad worked for the same company his entire life. Talk about two different mindsets. One of my dad's favorite sayings was, if you don't have enough money, make more. Whereas other philosophies, like probably my husband's dad, was, put your nose to the grindstone and work harder. And it's like, I don't think it works that way. So, what do you think about people needing to make more money?
I definitely think that in this economy that we live in today, is not necessarily a whole lot different than the economy that we had in the mid 70s, where things were tight and gas prices were up and things of that nature. Ultimately, it's been our experience and our um, observations, especially, we both came from jobs. I used to work for Publix. She worked in-home care for elderly folks. So we both used to do that. And now we have our own office. And we realize that uh, people hold their jobs, but a lot of times they need to make an extra income. But the employer is not raising their income fast enough. So they need to have an open mind about getting a side hustle and or other opportunities, because you can't necessarily expect that employer to pay you more, even though you may be worth more as an individual, because they're paying you for the job that you do. And so it's our experience that if you're going to grow your income, aside from working more hours or getting a second job, you probably need to find a way to make money outside of a business that's paying you for your time. You need to find a business that's paying you for your effort.
Yeah, let me clue the viewers into, we're all in Asheville, North Carolina right now, and I only moved here a couple of years ago. And I'm surprised, and I bring this up because you said you worked for Publix and you worked in healthcare. My first loans here in Asheville, three of them were for people that worked in a grocery store, Aldi's, Whole Foods, and Walmart. And my next three clients were all in the healthcare business. There's not a lot of big industry here in Asheville, and the price of housing is so much higher than the income allows. What are some of the unique aspects you see with being in Asheville, North Carolina, and the people you work with here?
Like you said, grocery stores, healthcare, it's a very touristy place. So it's a little bit more service industry based. So working with, just we work a lot with just middle income America. And you might, like you said, some people might need to work a little, might need to work a side hustle. Um, the part of having a plan is like, hey, let's see what we can do now to reach our goal. So it might mean working a little extra for 5 years or something, putting that extra money away earlier so that you can have that retirement you want. Um,
So tell me about solving some of your clients' problems.
yeah. So, like you said, we talked about earlier, just the risk. So sitting down with that client and seeing where they're at, what their goal is, and making helping them, giving them some information, so they can make that plan and those decisions that work the best for them. One mistake I would say I see as well is somebody not working with a professional. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to go fix my car. I'm not going to go roof my house. I'm going to pay somebody who knows what they're doing. And so if we retirement can be, 20 years of your life. And if you want to do that to go well, you want to achieve that goal, I think it's worth sitting down with a professional. We talk about emotional investing. Um, Studies show that working with a professional, you're going to outperform it somebody doing it on their own by 3%. 3% might not sound like a lot, but over the years it adds up so quickly. So it can make a big change there.
So I think also we mentioned about planning on the front side. A lot of the ways that we help our clients is we sit down and put together a personalized plan for them. Now, what we do is we call financial needs analysis. And basically, it's like a financial GPS. It takes a look at where they're at, where they want to be, and then shows them exactly what they've got to do to get there. And then because we take a whole picture approach to the area of personal finance, we don't just do investments, we don't just do insurances, we look at all of the things. We're able to help them with financial products and or planning and resources to help them not just plan to get to retirement, but for estate planning. Okay, a lot of people they don't plan for their estate. They plan well for their retirement. They got a plan, but they don't plan for their estate and afterwards. A lot of people carry debt into retirement, so helping them not do that, which is going to help them live not just a better stress-free life, but it's going to make their dollars that they have planned for retirement go further. And so we address all of those different areas to help our clients in the whole picture of what planning for that.
Yeah, I would say debt. Some people don't think about debt as much. I mean, like we want to get out of it. None of us want it. But that's another area that we can help with. Like I sat down with a client recently and she thought she was probably 7 years away from buying a house. But after sitting down, showing her what was possible, adjusting her cash flow just a little bit, she's probably 2 to 3 years out. And that makes a big difference.
That's great. That's wonderful. Yeah, little heads up for future episodes. One of the things that I will be concentrating on more is estate plans, that you need to have a trust, other financial tools, insurance, really starting at age 18, because nothing would be worse than somebody getting into a car accident and the parents don't have the ability to do medical directives. And, the minute you're an adult, you need to start doing adult things. So, with that in mind, tell us a little bit about your credentials, the products and services you offer, and licenses that you have.
So products and services, out of the majority of the products and services that we offer, we have about 13 major products. So, home and auto, life insurance are three of insurances. We work with personal and small business 401ks, annuities, managed accounts, mutual funds, obviously building retirement accounts for folks. And so those are just a couple of different products that we use. So Susie and I have been doing this for, as you said, 5 years, and we're both licensed agents through the state of North Carolina and federally through the United States. And so when it comes to our licenses, we're able to help you with all of those products with our licensure. And so
On the investment side, so, we can set up your IRA, your Roth IRA. Like also taxes are so important. People they save for retirement, but we also want to do that in a way that benefits us as much as possible on the tax side, because who wants to pay more taxes in retirement than we need to? And we can also help set up like 529 plans if you want to save for a child or grandchild. Caleb mentioned annuities. We talked about risk. So there's a way, it's a little more conservative than some options, but there's a way to have no have a downside protection. So if the market goes down, your money's not going anywhere, but also to benefit from the growth. So that can be a good option for a lot of people, especially if you're hesitant about investing. And then, like you said, setting up those IRAs, 401ks, and especially for solopreneurs, if that's something you can still benefit from the tax benefits of saving for your retirement through your business. So just looking at that whole picture and benefiting from those options.
Well, great. One of the things I just want to reiterate is you have to start investing early, because the time in the market, whether it be the stock market or your home, that will compound over the years. And your best way of increasing your likelihood of a successful retirement is by starting early.
That is the number. I think that is the biggest pitfall that I see. Sure.
Yeah. Any last comments before we go? I do appreciate your time and, helping the people out to learn more about what you do and what they can do for themselves. Any last words?
Well, I tell you what, I really appreciate you having us on. I'm not a natural teacher by trade. I've never taught, but I absolutely love sitting down and educating people and making a positive impact in their lives, whether they fill out a whole plan and work with us, or they just get educated and able to take that and use that for their own benefit. Ultimately, we're here to help educate people on the front side and help them be better. And so I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to help educate your followers, and hopefully, whether they use us or someone else, they'll be able to go out and implement some things today to help them be better for the future.
And what's the best way for somebody to contact you?
So setting up, they want to just text us or give a phone call. My number is 417-955-3499. If email is your preferred method of contact, also email is susiatkins@primerica, primerica.com. And I would say my last tip that I'd like to throw out there for your followers is, even if you have something, you also just want to review it regularly. Every year or two at max. It's like you may have made a plan 5 years ago and it was amazing 5 years ago, but things change. So go back and just check in and make sure things are doing well for you.
Well, that's wonderful. Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And if our viewers have gotten anything out of this that they want to share, like, and hit that subscribe button so they don't miss future episodes. We always have a lot available for you to learn from, to help family members, children, parents, everyone out there needs to have a plan. Thank you very much from Retirement Solutions for